Well, we know what this looks like. And we know what this is. 5 years ago. This is gonna be my last case. Hell, it better be. Surprised I lasted this long. Every button of mine that they could have pushed, they did. And I just stood there and took it for so long. And for what? What happened 10 years ago was just a start. The start of a long-ass descent. When so many people look away the first time, you can tell they'll do it again. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do any more favors. In a city like this, the favors are all you have. At least, if you're a cop. Or really, if you're trying to do any good in general. Yeah. This is the end, alright. I'm ending this as fast as I possibly can. Ah, good morning, Mr. Sternwood. Especially since I'm being forced to work with him. What's wrong with you, boy? Can't you see I'm giving a monologue here? Ah. Excuse me, then. Detective Sternwood, right? I'm Detective Phoenix Wright. I've been assigned to help you out with this. You might remember me, actually. We worked together on, LY-17. I remember. Ah, good, you remember me. I rarely forget a face. Have you been, sir? Oh, I've been just peachy. And you? Oh, pretty good. You know, the usual. Have your barbecues been? My barbecues? Never mind. It's an old man reminiscing about the good times, you know. So, what do we got? Don't know. Just arrived here myself. I've been told that a forensic specialist is waiting for us inside to give us the brief. And what are we waiting for? Let's go. Frozen enough of my ass off waiting for you. In case you haven't figured it out, my name is Joseph Sternwood. I'm a detective. In case you haven't figured this out either, I won't be for long. This is gonna be my last case, whatever it is. All I know is that someone's dead. Right now I couldn't care less if it was the Queen of England. I'm wrapping this up as fast as I can. Is this a monk temple or something? Skiing resort, dumbass. Haven't you ever heard of a theme? Jeez, really don't need to be that rude. I have a be an asshole to everyone quota I need to fill. You'll excuse me. Oh, Sternwood, right, you've made it. I was starting to think you wouldn't be able to find the place. Hello, Detective Sky. Hey, Emma. Good morning. I don't believe we've met. The name's Phoenix Wright. Emma Sky. Charmed, I'm sure. Don't get your hopes up, Wright. She's already dating someone. Hey, I just said hello. And how do you know I'm dating someone? Instinct. Thanks for confirming it. You really know how to kick off a morning, don't you? It's always a pleasure. What have we got? Alexander Neal. 25, Nell. 21-year-old male. He died in what appears to have been a snowmobile accident. He came here with his sister and girlfriend on a skiing trip. Last night, according to witnesses, he went outside to explore. Despite being advised not to do it, he set off anyway. And now he's dead. Looks like his brakes malfunctioned. Guy landed right off a cliff. Damn. Ouch! Certainly we're still trying to find all the pieces that used to be him. That's an understatement. Seems reasonable enough. Yet we wouldn't be here if it was a simple brake malfunction. You assumed correctly. Our tech guy isn't yet sure, but on first glance it appears the brakes were tampered with by a person. That's what tampered means, doesn't it? Yeah, usually. Of course it couldn't be an accident. Upon arriving here, every person is assigned their own personal snowmobile. They can do this as there's never more than 5 people per group. The snowmobiles are also top of the line, easy to use. Judging from the one outside, at least. That's the 2036 edition, right? Top of the line? I don't know which bottle it is. Do I look like that kind of person? The rest of the stuff is true, though. So this means that if the brakes have been tampered with on Nell's snowmobile specifically, this was premeditated murder. Naturally. Why'd it have to be murder? How many people were at the resort? 5 in total. Nell, his sister, his girlfriend, a man, and the man's son. What about the owners? They were at the cabin on the other side of the mountain all day, confirmed by other people. The snowmobile's brakes worked really fine earlier in the day, so... Could have been them. Cool. What kind of owners would destroy their business by killing one of their customers anyway? Bad owners. Even if the guys banged my wife, I still would have at least waited a bit before offing him. At least the suspect pool is small. They all still here? Naturally. Then off we go. Why are you wearing so many layers anyways? It's cold? Sorry we can't all be like you and wear a trench coat and fedora. You are excused. Christ, you look like a mannequin sometimes, you know that? No need to get rude. Hey, you started it. You're not supposed to point it out, you moron. What? Never mind. Let's just gotta move on. General rule of thumb is that the girlfriend did it, so we'll take care of her first. Fair enough. Right then. Your name is? Oh, Wonderly. Amelia Wonderly. Well, hello there, Amelia. This is Detective Sternwood, I'm Detective Wright. Christ, Wright. Keep it in your pants. First introduce yourself, then your partner. You're making yourself look weak. Do you know what happened to Alex? That's what we're here to look into, miss. What can you tell us about him? Not much, to be honest with you. I mean, I can obviously tell you a whole lot. I was his girlfriend, so I don't think any of it will help you. Right. Naturally. He was a good person. A really good person. I obviously liked him. Any enemies? None that come to mind? To be honest, he wasn't the kind of guy to talk about his problems with me a whole lot. Might sound strange, but he had a sister, Helen, for that. She's here with you as well? She should be somewhere around here, yeah? Alex decided to bring her along at the last minute. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. Of course. Wright and I working together on a case that's centered around siblings. Of course. Where were you on the night of the murder? In my room, sleeping. I don't think there's anyone that could vouch for me. I wish I hadn't been. If I'd maybe gone with him, this could have been avoided. Of course, then you both would have died. She treats us like it was an accident. She didn't even flinch when I said murder. Had she just misheard it? So you think it was murder? Well, this is interesting. Your boyfriend's brakes appear to have been tampered with, Miss Wonderly. I see. That's awful. I mean, murder's a horrible way to go. It usually is, yes. I don't understand how people can do those kinds of things. I've been taught that, when it comes down to it, it should only be done when absolutely needed. Alex didn't need to die, though. I would hope not. Oh, come on, at least try. Right. That's all the questions we have for now. It is? Yep. Let's go. This is the prelude, after all. Ah! You must be the detectives. Oh, hello. How do you do? My name is John Doe. This is my son, Ethan. Ethan Doe. Good morning. I'm sure you know, but we're two of the guests that were staying here last night. Pleasure. I'm Detective Sternwood. This is my partner, Detective Wright. Partner, huh? We're merely wondering when you'll conclude your interviews and we'll be free to go. Me and my son have some important business to attend to. Well, that'll depend. Have you seen anything regarding the incident? I'm afraid not. Understandable. You're free to go. Whoa, what? You sure there, Chief? Yeah, you sure there, Chief? No point keeping you any longer. Appears that the matter at hand is merely an accident. You're free to go, really. Oh, I see. Well, in that case, good day, I suppose? Indeed, good day. Okay. What the hell was that just now? We've been here for 15 minutes, you can't just... Were you even listening to what Sky said? Were you listening to yourself? The brakes were tampered with. And who said so? A technician. Wrong. That was his initial assumption. You weren't listening clearly enough. Have a talk with him. Get him to change his mind. Oh. What the hell's gotten into you? The favor. Hold on. I could have sworn I saw someone over there just now. I don't want to waste time, right? My girlfriend did it. I could see it in her eyes. We're wasting time here. There's a cliff right next to us. A river running down it. Perfect way of disposing of evidence, don't you think? Considering that Wonderlay was confident enough to talk to us in the first place. She was confident enough nobody saw her. If somebody had seen her, they would have come forward by the time we got here. It's as simple as that. And if she ends up being your only suspect, you still won't have any proof whatsoever that she wasn't the one behind what happened. Or that she was the one behind what happened. I guarantee it. So again, let's not waste time. Put an end to the murder train of thought going on, and let's close this as an accident. You're a real piece of work, you know that? Coming from you, it's quite rich. Considering what you've done. Don't. Relax, nobody's around. The guy had slept with your girlfriend, hadn't he? Must have been quite hard for you. Don't act like you didn't take any part in it. Oh, I did. For me, though, it was because he had ruined my case. As simple as that. That doesn't make it any better. I'm not saying that it does, right? I'm just saying that now is not the right time to grow morals. You've done it so far. You can do it one more time. But... relax. It'll be fine, right? Nobody will touch your precious badge. Hey! Sayonara, right? Oh, right. At least say hi to the guy's sister. She should be around here somewhere. You're a goddamn psycho, you know that? I know. Yet you're no better. There's always a choice, right? Sane people don't make this many wrong ones. And that's how my last day at the job came to an end. As anticlimactic as it may sound, some things are just like that. You don't expect a lot, and you don't get a lot in return. I'm not the kind of man that beats around the bush. What needs to be done is always done. The method? Irrelevant, frankly. It's been 5 years. I never looked back on that day. And why should I have? Sometimes not all of us are meant for the rabbit hole. For example, I'd heard that the owner of that lodge was killed just a few days afterwards. Murdered by some assassin. Had I stayed, I probably would have gotten caught up in that mess as well. Ah. That's not how it went down. Because in the end, I control my own destiny. Nobody else does. I'm my own man now. I run a private detective agency. Nobody to boss me around. Nobody to bother me. Yet, strangely enough, it's this feeling that something's coming my way. Something I don't think I'm going to be able to dig myself out of. Oh well. Whatever it is, I'll deal with it. That's the prelude, and now we will properly begin. The game. I know what this is, believe it or not. It's how it always starts. A nightmare. A nightmare I've seen play out far too many times. There's a man. He's standing in a dark hallway. He's not alone. There are 2 people at his feet. They're unconscious. They don't know what's about to happen. In the nightmare, I'm one of the 2 men. Can't move. Can't even see anything but the feet of the stranger before me. There's this smell in the air. It's familiar. I know I've smelled it before, but I can't put my finger on where. My clothes are also soaked in something. We're about to burn. This is wrong. I want to call for help, but I can't. The man lights a match. I'm scared. I can feel that something bad is about to happen. And then everything's hot. Everything begins hurting. The man takes my head and pulls it up to face him. I want to scream. Why can't I scream? I feel pathetic. Why won't he let me scream? I can't even see his face. What have I done to deserve this? Was I a bad person? Must have been. That feeling of guilt is all I'm left with. It's at this point in the nightmare that I realize this isn't a nightmare. It's a memory. Finally, we're here. A birdman walks down the desolate corridor. Hey, Justice? Hey, can you hear me? Justice! Oh. Are you okay? Christoph? What's going? Okay, you're alive. Seems you were having a nightmare of some sort. Huh. Some sort. It's only one sort of nightmare that bothers me. Sorry if I got you worried. No trouble at all. Still, if you wish to make it up to me, I would very much appreciate having you on your feet. Oh? We're going somewhere? Indeed. I managed to track down the origin of that letter. Oh wow, good work. Who was it? A Mr. Joseph Sternwood. Never heard of him. Likewise. Which is why I suggest we go pay him a visit. Assuming, of course, that you're curious. You assume correctly, boss. Just... give me a moment here. You want me to get you something? Nah. I've already taken my meds for the day. Breathe. 1, 2. Right. Let's get going. Apollo Justice has gone through some serious shit here. Profile says he's 37 now, which means day 1. We'll see if we get here. If we get to the point where I can say with certainty why this game stood out to me, why I wanted to play this game in particular. We'll see if we get there in one video. My name's Apollo Justice. I'm an employee at the Gavin & Co. law offices. About 2 weeks ago, my boss, Christoph Gavin, received a strange typed letter. It simply said, October 21st, Amelia Wonderley will be murdered in her home. The name didn't ring any bells. I figured it was just some kind of prank, but a week after that, on October 22nd, as I was reading the morning paper, something caught my eye. It was an obituary. Amelia Wonderley, found dead in her home just the night before. October 21st. The strange part, well, another strange part, is that it didn't appear to be a murder. Death had been labeled as suicide, contrary to the letter. Yet it was too much of a coincidence to simply ignore. So since business was slow either way, we decided to look into the matter. First step being to track down whoever the sender was. Which is why we're here. According to Christoph, our man is Joseph Sternwood, a private detective if his office door is to be believed. What's that smell? Garlic? How did you track him down, anyways? Quite simple, really. The envelope had a return address. Oh, that's awesome. It did? That's a bit odd. My thoughts exactly. Still, I looked into it. Took me a while to finally find the man. Admittedly, I'd gotten quite rusty in the investigative department. That's why I have people I can simply hire to do the job for me. You mean me? Can I see the letter? By all means. Return return address is really hard to spot on first glance, but it's definitely there. Let's see. Font seems to match the one in the letter. So want to do the honors? It's only fair. Mr. Sternwood? Did he know we were coming? Maybe he's not in. Hi, Justice. Christoph? What the hell are you doing? Breaking the door down. What does it look like I'm doing? Now step aside. Oh God. Mr. Sternwood. Christoph? What's going on in there? Stay back, Justice. Damn. Justice, I told you to... Is he... alive? No. Bullet wound to the head was somewhat of a dead giveaway. I don't believe this. I can't say I'm entirely surprised. I mean, I was expecting for this meeting to go horribly wrong either way. So was I, but I figured we'd at least get to talk to the guy. Now what? What do you think? You stay here. I'm going to call the police. Sure, leave me here all by myself. Somebody has to guard the crime scene, Justice. Don't be a child about this. You're 37, Justice. Grow up. I'll be right outside if you need me. You know, if you can't stand the sight, you should just say so. Don't touch anything. Right. Of course. This is bad. Not to mention strangely convenient. Well, I guess only one of the things they're free to do. Do the exact opposite of what Christoph told me and snoop around. I mean, it's his fault for leaving me alone with the corpse. Ooh. Save game. It's a card of some sort. Hello, you. A pink shell. It's a strange feel in my gut just from looking at it. Though in all fairness, that could be because of the whole dead body thing. Either way, I'll keep this thing in mind. Something about it is weird. Why is it just lying around here? Bah. Probably just my paranoia talking. One moment. The customary viewing of the evidence. Typed letter addressed to Mr. Gavin, prophesizing the death of Amelia Wonderley. Sent by Joseph Sternwood. Oh, that's about it. October 21st, Amelia Wonderley will be murdered in her home. And then there's the card. There's poor Justice. He's really disfigured but still somewhat functioning defense attorney. Christoph. Amelia Wonderley. A woman who died on October 21st. I'm afraid I don't know much more about her than that. And the late Joseph Sternwood. The source of the letter we got. And killed himself for the trouble. By the one and only. Okay, what else do we got? Nothing here. Windows are closed, locked up too. Doesn't look like anyone left through here. I mean, we're on the 4th floor. The only way out would be hitting the pavement. What do we have here? One half of the shelf looks like a bunch of books on law and criminal procedure. And 2 or 3 Martin Summers novels. The other half looks to be dedicated to case files. I feel like it's wise to try and go through them all now. Well, to be frank, I wouldn't personally want to go through these later either. Let's just see what else is here. One shot, straight through the head. I'm no coroner, but I'd say he died instantly. Was this a suicide? There's something sneaking out of his pocket. A key? Oh no. Don't tell me it's one of those. A locked room murder? Really? Again? Relax, Apollo. Doesn't necessarily have to be the key to the office. Apollo knows he's in the dude with a mask verse, and he's just spending all of his many lives and many timelines solving locked room murders. And even if it is, it doesn't have to be the only one. Never get ahead of yourself. I think that's everything I can do without getting accused of tampering with the scene. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Me and Mr. Justice broke down the door and found him like that. Christoph? That's so. Oh, I see. Hello, you. And you would be Mr. Justice, I presume. Correct? And you are? Phoenix Wright. Homicide. I was in the vicinity when your friend here made the call. Did you touch anything on the scene? No. Good. Not completely reckless, then. 90% reckless. I like the casual bench pose, Phoenix Wright slide in. Now, I'll need you to step aside. Do me a favor and don't go anywhere. That's a clever use of space. What a stupendous morning, wouldn't you agree? Quite, my good chap. You know, it's occurred to me that I have the absolute worst luck on Earth. What on earth gave you that idea? Mostly the fact that I have horrible burns all over my body, and constant pain, and the people around me have the strangest tendency to get killed in horrible ways. Well, when you put it like that, you're right. That looks like the face of a pleased man if I've ever seen one. Right then. I'm going to continue this conversation down at the station. Still have a few questions for you. Anything we can do to help? Of all the people and of all the times. Right then. Guess your story's pretty simple. You arrived at the office, found it locked, smelled blood, broke in. At that time, Mr. Sturdman had already passed away. Well, he didn't really pass. More like a sudden jolt over the edge. Someone pushed him away? Sure, why not? Now then, I have to ask again, just to be sure. You didn't touch anything, did you? I didn't, no. I will admit to touching the body. And I only did so to check if he was alive, naturally. Naturally. Something wrong, Detective? No, just... something about the scene's a bit... off to me. Off? I have an idea on what he means by that. Okay, we can suggest or say nothing. Seems like a good point to save the game. But... say nothing. I only have one more question. What were you two gentlemen doing there in the first place? Ah, that's... tell the truth, lie like a dog. Let's tell the truth. Well, it was like this. I see. Amelia Wonderley. Huh. Small world. That name actually rings a bell. Anything you can tell us about her incident? Any reason I should? I mean, not like there's much to tell. Well, the case isn't resolved or anything. It seems pretty open and shut. This Wonderley seems to have committed suicide by overdosing on sleeping pills. Her roommate was out of town at the time, so she was completely alone. Looking into things, but so far there doesn't seem to be anything pointing to murder. I suspect it's only a matter of time before the toxicology confirms it. I suppose that letter does change a thing or two. Don't mind, I'd like to borrow it for a bit. I imagine it's in your best interest. Police investigator can do a lot more to track down its origin. Well, that's fair enough. I imagine that's fair enough. Danke. I'll promise I'll keep you posted. Get it? Letter? Posted? No? Oh well, can't win them all. So with that, I'd say this interview has reached its conclusion. Thank you for your cooperation. You two gave each other alibis for the entire day, so you're not considered as suspects. What are you going to do now? Well, annoyingly, the shots went straight through the poor guy's brain. Can't seem to find the bullet, so figuring out what type of gun did this will be difficult, to say the least. As such, our first step will be figuring out whether or not this actually was a murder. And considering the conditions, suicide is just as likely. No need to worry yourself over that. Find everything out in due time. You mean once it's all wrapped up? Ideally, yes. And if things go less than ideally, I guess I'd have to accuse you of not giving me enough credit here. I'm sure I'll manage to figure it out. Right, of course. Alright. Now what? Oh, here we go. I would ask if there was something on your mind, but I suppose the answer is obvious enough. Honestly, I don't think we should bother ourselves with this business. Oh? Are you supposed to pretend nothing happened? No, but it might be better to leave it all to the police now. You know, what normal people would do. Some detectives we turned out to be. This might be the universe trying to tell us not to do something we're not good at. For your information, I am the best of detectives. Right. And I'm a rock star. You could be. I've seen the way you glance at my sweet air guitar. I take it back. You are an ace detective. Glad we agree. Charming. But seriously, you're not the least bit curious? Of course I am. If I chased after every little thing that made me curious, I'd be more of a dog than a man. Right. Fair enough. Can't just let this go, can I? Like a dog chasing after a car? Alright then. Let's think about this. Oh. Puzzle time. Won't bother going through the facts for the 50th time. So much questioning, I think I at least have those rights. Got a bunch of puzzle pieces to work with. At this point, it's not about finding anymore. It's about putting them together. I'm going to look into this. I need to have a general direction in mind. I shouldn't bother with trying to answer any questions regarding that letter. I don't have anything to work with in that regard. For now, just a rough idea of what happened will do. A specific order of events would be the best case scenario, but we'll just take it slow for now, shall we? Detective Wright has the right idea on where to start. Considering the state of the scene, there are two possible conclusions to draw. Either Sturdwood killed himself or someone did it for him. There are things that point to and against both conclusions. Which one is the truth? Murder or suicide? We get to pick. Let's pick suicide. Suicide does make sense, yeah. Don't think a murderer would have bothered locking the door behind him after all. Sure, not the best reasoning, but something about this. I don't know. Makes sense as a suicide to me. There's something not quite right. If it's really suicide, then something was missing from the scene back then. The gun. I don't suppose it could have just flown away. I just didn't see it. Or somebody took it. I mean, let's get the completely dismissive ending. I didn't see it. It's definitely possible. I didn't see it. I didn't get a good chance to look around the scene after all. So it's simple, isn't it? Guy walked in, locked the door from the inside, blew his brains out. Huh. Sounds really simple when I put it like that, doesn't it? I was gonna say, obviously there's more to it, since Wright mentioned not having the gun. he had more time at the scene, but we're making our choices and we're going to lie with him. Still, I don't see why the easiest explanation can't be the right one. Only question now would be, why would he have done this? I mean, I can't exactly give a definitive answer here. I didn't know the guy. But I think I can guess what it at least had something to do with. We can present. I think it had something to do with, that's probably it. That's a strange letter. A shot in the dark? Sure. I think it's fair to say that it'd be too much of a coincidence if Sternwood didn't have anything to do with Wonderly's death. Either knew it would happen and did nothing to stop it, not directly at least, or he was the one behind it. Either way, I don't think we'll be getting any answers from him anytime soon. Kristoff's right. This really has got nothing to do with me. I should just go and get some sleep. Let the police deal with this. No point in dwelling on things like these, right? Hey, it's me. Everything's under control. Taking care of everything. I'll never find out. I promise you. Of course it'll cost you. But we can talk about that after the trial. Don't be foolish. Of course there's going to be a trial. You prepared very poorly. Even I don't need to see all the evidence to know you're suspicious. Right then. I'll see you soon. Huh. Sternwood really was a lucky coincidence, wasn't he? Oh, nobody important. Don't worry about it. End. Something shady's going on. Okay. Darn. I'm kind of disappointed these aren't numbered. So we can keep a track going of all the endings we got. So I'm just going to make some notes. On the tree we took to get here. So, to get here, we have 4 saves. Let's go back to the last decision. Oh, this is the last decision. So, let's go back here, first of all. Somebody took it. Somebody must have taken the thing. But, who? More importantly, perhaps, how? I mean, considering this, I don't think anyone could have gone in or out after Sternwood's death. We got the key. That key I found in Sternwood's pocket. A shockingly good chance it's the key to the office. Knowing my luck, it probably is. If it is, then how could anyone have been able to leave the room? The door was locked. And again, I don't have any proof that it's the only key to the room. But it's definitely possible someone else managed to get in there after Sternwood's death. Still though, who? And why? Damn it, I've got nothing. No suspects in mind. What on earth would it gain in covering up a suicide? I'll have to look into this further after all. Oh, we're going somewhere. I see. It's an interesting thought, I suppose. Although, again, I'm not sure if we should get involved. I'm just saying that there's more to this. And I'm just saying that maybe it isn't for us to stick our noses into. The way I see it, I'm personally leaning towards suicide. I don't know all the facts. And neither do you. All the more reason we should look into it. Justice. Listen. If we were to investigate, our first step would be to look into that letter. I mean, we can't exactly go snooping around the crime scene. So can we at least go and look into that? Sure, there's no guarantee that Miss Wonderly's death has anything to do with this, but I think we should, at the very least, see our initial inquiry through. That's a bit hard, considering the only man that can give you answers is dead. We're lawyers, Kristoff. Death's never stopped us before. You're not going to let it go until I agree, are you? I will not. No. What a shame. I was actually looking forward to the weekend. You can have your hair done some other time, for crying out loud. It isn't just the hair, though. Goodness, Apollo. Hey, you remember that time we were working on that case that involved the Russian mob? When you went undercover as one of them to get info? Who was it that saved you when they realized there might be something off about you? You know, when you started doing your nails. Who was it that bravely charged in and pulled you out of that mess? Are you still going to bring that up? I bought you dinner for that. Well, too bad. I'm hungry now. Fortunately, it's not for food. You've been watching too many movies. It's only right, considering my life is starting to look like one. Fair. So, what's the plan for tomorrow? I should have just let you take a taxi. Oh, day 2. I have a feeling that the path we took... Unfortunately, Mr. Gavin, I'm afraid I'm unable to give you good news. While the right arm is making massive improvements, his face and left side of his body will... Well, I'm sure you can conclude for yourself. Finally, the fact that we managed to save as much skin tissue as we did is a miracle on its own. I've already been told that much, Doctor. I'm more worried about his mental state. Well, I'm afraid I'll be forced to be the bearer of bad news once more. I see. We're unsure what the cause of it is. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. At the very least, it doesn't appear to happen when he interacts with children. What? He was actually quite friendly with them. He's even made a friend. Huh. What is this? I don't suppose I can talk to him. That would be unwise, at least at the moment. I figured as much. Is there any chance of improvement? Possibly. We have to see how much he reacts to therapy and medication. So there is a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? That's not a guarantee. I know. But a chance is as good a start as any. Keep me updated. Of course. Awful sleep is still awful. Hey, at least I don't feel like throwing up. That's a plus, right? Head hurts, though. That's nice. Kinda wish I was just an intense alcoholic or something instead of this. This hangover doesn't sound like such a bad deal right about now. Damn. It hurts. What does? Eh? Who said that? Kristoff? That you? Sorry, who? Oh, Kristoff. The guy that you're clearly not. Oh, I don't know. I think I could pass as a Kristoff. If I was blind and on cocaine? Sure. Well, I don't know about cocaine, but judging by all the pill bottles lying around here, you sure are on something. That's prescribed. But what am I saying? Who are you? How'd you get in here? The door? Same way you did? Pretty sure I locked it. Obviously you didn't. Are you a client? Righto. In that case, sorry. We're closed for the day. What? But I need your help. I'm sure you do. But as I said, we're closed. And what are you doing here? Sleeping. It's easier doing it here than going all the way to the other side of the town to my place. Far more convenient, especially since Wonderlay's apartment isn't far from here. Do you even work here? Anything to suggest I don't? Your manners. That's just morning grumpiness. Standard stuff. Any case, I can't help you at the moment. Please come back on Monday. But you can leave your contact information right here, and we'll get back to you. I need your help now. I need you to help me find someone. This sounds interesting. You do know that this isn't a detective agency, right? I want to talk to Kristoff. He seems cooler. Good morning. I trust you managed to find the place okay? Just fine, yeah. Hey, you know any reason someone would think we're a detective agency? Pardon? Never mind. So what's the situation? Can we look around? Let's just say we were lucky. The investigators are gone, but Ms. Wonderlay didn't live alone. Yeah, I remember right mentioning she had a roommate. Indeed. Luckily, I managed to get her to talk to us. Bunch of strangers snooping about. Of course, she's under the impression we're here to talk about insurance. I'm impressed. You should be, especially since I'm doing all of the work, despite this being your idea. Sorry, I just wasn't feeling... Relax. I'm joking. Of course it's okay. Besides, you were right. We should give it our best. My own curiosity didn't just go away either, after all. As I figured. So shall we? Ladies first. Hey now. Huh. Nice place. Is the huh meant to mean something? No. Just... Huh. Looks better than my place. I should hope so. I tell you, it costs a fortune. Well, it used to cost a fortune, I should say. Now that Amelia's gone, I can't afford it anymore. That's a shame. It is, isn't it? We had a deal, you know. We split everything 50-50. That sounds insensitive. Sorry, at the moment I'm still a bit of a mess. I mean, what am I supposed to do right now? Not even just bills and rent. There's so much more to consider. Should be putting this on strangers. Welcome is probably more appropriate, huh? Well, it's a beautiful place. Yeah, that it is. But wait. Where are my manners? I'm Helen. Helen? Nell, right? Oh, that's benign. Don't overuse it. Is that what people say these days? And you would be Mr. Gavin. No, that would be the classy, non-disfigured gentleman. Huh? Oh, sorry, I didn't... Why are you apologizing for a joke I made? Relax. Dad. I'm Mr. Justice. Apollo Justice. Pleasure to meet you. Admittedly, it could have been under better circumstances, but okay. I see how they came together. Don't worry, In my profession, I rarely get the chance to meet people under good circumstances. Charming as always, Justice. What's that supposed to mean? Well, you certainly aren't going to win any points with women with those statements. She's involved in the case, Kristoff. Besides, what do you know about picking up women? Now, what's that supposed to mean? Gentlemen, please. Right, sorry. We won't bother you too much. Just have a few questions about what happened. But, really? I said everything I had to say to the police. We understand. Trust me, we don't like seeing people talk about such events so many times. Procedure is procedure. I'm sure you understand. I guess? We promise we won't bother you too much. I'm sure you won't. Although it's strange. I don't remember Amy ever telling me about a life insurance policy. How odd. In the end, she hadn't told me a lot of things looking back on it all, so... Guess I shouldn't be surprised, should I? A lot of things, huh? Why do I suddenly feel just a tad bit bad for lying? Yeah, that's a hefty thing to lie about. Really, we just need some basic information about the case from you firsthand. We might also take a look around. We might? Naturally, we won't disturb anything. Too much. I'm not sure why. I cleaned the place up after everything that happened, but... hey, you're the professionals, I guess. Right, we're the professionals. Let's start with something simple, then. What can you tell us about Amelia? What kind of person was she? That's a weird insurance question, but go off, I guess. I guess she was just... a normal person? Alright, look. We met in college and eventually decided to live together. Instead, people made the assumption that we're the best friends in the world or something. To be fair, we probably were at some point, but we've been distant for some time now. I know that sounds like a line of a worn-out marriage, but that's how it was. I knew very little about what was going on in her life after the connection between the two of you was cut off. That makes sense. That's why when I heard she'd killed herself, I was surprised. And at the same time, I wasn't. That even makes sense. If you want to know things about her, I'll just tell you the same things I told the police. I'm assuming this is about possible motives for suicide, so... One, I can tell you she had a boyfriend. Boyfriend, huh? I don't know his name or how they got along, really. We never met. Sometimes I wasn't sure if they met either, huh? Weirdly enough, they communicated through letters. That's what she wanted, apparently. The police didn't seem to find any of them, so... I still don't know who he is. I just know he was an older guy. Speaking of older guys... Does the name Joseph Sternwood ring any bells? I don't think I've ever met anyone with that name. I see. Guess that would have been just too easy, huh? One thing I do know for certain is the fact that Amy was in heavy debt. I know because, well, we get the pleasure of sharing our financial situation. She was always... how do I say this? A hedonist? Truth is, we were going to leave this place anyway. Just couldn't pay up her half of the money. I couldn't really cover for her anymore either. I see. Who did she owe? Who didn't she? Honestly, if we were to try and compile a list, we'd be here for weeks. Ow. Now, if you want to know what kind of person she was, in general... Ironically, for someone who didn't know how to save money, she knew how to save literally everything else. If she lived alone, chances are she would have turned into a hoarder. First week of living with her was a nightmare. After was still annoying, but I like to think I managed to get her to focus on the right things. Except for money, it would seem. Except for money. Looking back on it, I'm glad I never suggested she learn how to drive. Chances are she would have tried to get an entire parking lot of cars. It was just a bit hard at times with her. There were times when I wanted to do something, but she wouldn't listen to me. She wouldn't listen to anyone, really. I think that's because she didn't have a family. Amy was an orphan, the poor girl. Oh, actually, there was this guy. She called him Big Brother, but to my knowledge, the person's just a childhood friend or something. I see. I think this conversation is going a bit off track here. Think we could maybe see a photo of her? Why would you, of all people, need a... oh, wait. Right. She refused to let anyone take photos of her. Interesting. You know, the weird thing is... after her death, I couldn't even find the few I had of her. Quite a peculiar person, wasn't she? I thought that would be apparent enough at this point, but yeah, she was. None of this tells me what I could have gotten her and what could have gotten her involved with, well, whatever this letter is supposed to be about. Okay, I'd like to ask a few questions about the actual incident now. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I'll continue to be unhelpful. The time when it happened, I was on vacation, out of town. I literally drove back the day after she... When I came back, the police were already all over this place. A traveling salesman found her after deciding to peek in through the window. So you don't know what actually happened? Is it really that much of a mystery? She overdosed on her sleeping pills. Pretty sure she wouldn't have taken a huge dose accidentally. So it must have been a suicide. I suppose so. Where did she... I mean, where was she found? Right in this room. On the couch there. Ah. You wouldn't mind if I took a quick look around here, right? I won't take anything, I promise. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find. The police combed this place quite well. It's gonna be thorough. Suit yourself. Just don't take too long. I won't, don't worry. I still don't really see why. Procedure, man. Always procedure. Really? Your friend there even said there's no point to it, so... Damn it, Kristoff. He's new. He looks older than you, though. Considering you can't even see my face, I'm not sure how you can say that. Promotions work weirdly over at the insurance office. Yeah, he's a late bloomer in the insurance industry. Any case, faster we get this done, sooner we can leave. Fair enough. Don't worry. I always get things done quickly. My name's Justice. I said this is where Mr. Wonderly was found. This apartment only has one bedroom. She decided to kindly hand it over to me. She always did fall asleep on the couch anyway. So there would have been nothing strange about the fact that she would do it here. It's without point to suicide, but... Let's just keep looking, shall we? Guess the traveling salesman's story makes sense. You can easily see into the room from the window. All it would have taken would have been for the curtains to be drawn just a bit, and voila. Not really sure why I'm even suspecting the traveling salesman anyways. Jesus, Justice, don't get paranoid, you weirdo. Sorry that I can't really offer you anything to drink. That's okay, I'm not that thirsty anyways. Bold lie there, Justice. Damn it, of all the times not to stop by a freaking kiosk. I'm dying here. I feel like I've been in a desert for days. That's just all that weird girl's fault. Fucking Trucy. Books. Let's see here. Huh, who's into detective novels? Amy was. You want some? I was going to get rid of him anyways. No thanks. Not really into those. Besides, not like I have a lot of time to read these days. Really, the last time I actually sat down and read a book for satisfaction alone was... well, in the hospital, I guess. Anyway, there's a box on the top shelf. Mind if I take a look here? What do we have here? Ripped up parking ticket. I remember once fighting quite a fierce battle over these. Looks like it was given around the region of the city. Dated... October 21st. Oh. October 21st. Excuse me, but could you put that back? There's some private stuff in there, you know? Oh, whoops. Sorry. Got carried away. Force of habit. I would appreciate it if I didn't have to deal with a lawsuit, Justice. Naturally. Really, you probably could have explained away Kristoff by saying, oh, he's the insurance firm's lawyer. Thanks for the help. I really appreciate it. Okay. I think at this point we're going to end this off. When we return, we'll continue through day 2 of A Burned Man Walks Down the Desolate Corridor. See where our decisions take us.